Happy song, the developing Dune story, and of course, the elections.
My name is Bomber.
And I'm Chris.
And you've been listening to This Week in Sedgefield.
And it is election week. The votes are starting to be counted. I hope that you managed to get your vote in. I know that the stations were open to quite late. Bomber, did you get a vote in?
I didn't actually, because I'm not a citizen of South Africa. I'm
Seriously?
a permanent resident. Yeah, I'm not allowed to vote. Breaks my heart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I checked, did all the research, and the laws haven't changed. I'm not allowed to vote.
Oh,
but
man.
my wife and my children did, so all good. Yeah.
Okay. And I suppose you can do lots of campaigning.
Yes, I can do all the campaiging. Yes. Down with politicians, don't vote. You'll only encourage them. No, that's a joke.
Okay. I was going to ask, if I'm allowed to ask, if the Edge is a political party or political ideology leaning. I haven't really picked up on anything, I suppose.
No, we actually try our very, very hardest to not lean in any political direction. And we do treat politicians with the same distrust all round.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's very fair.
I've seen this. I've seen different politicians from different parties stand in the same place in Smutsville, a place called Dichaiki, and say, people shouldn't have to live like this. If you vote us in, things will change. And not one of the parties has actually instituted any change. So
absolutely none of them.
Yeah,
is the thing.
Absolutely none of them. Yeah.
And we'll see. I mean, we've got a bunch of the results starting to kind of come in, and by the time you're listening to this, whatever we say is going to be obsolete. But it has been interesting to kind of see, and it should be in the next few days that we have a result.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah. They're coming in fast. There's a few surprises. Nationally, with the MK party getting lots and lots of votes, specifically in KwaZulu Natal.
Yeah, KZN. And it will be interesting to see what happens between with KZN, with the MK, with all of these kind of other surprises that came along. Yeah. What I found surprising hearing this morning, someone was saying to us that in Taiwan, They have their votes and everything like that, their election, and a few hours later, all of the results are in, and I think that's pretty impressive.
Yep. Not as good as Zimbabwe, though. Yeah? Zimbabwe, they let you know the results a week before the elections. I didn't say that.
Well, you're allowed to, as still a Zim resident.
Yes.
You could say, especially from being this far away.
Absolutely,
it does certainly help.
A safe distance. Apparently, they did have ZANU-PF delegates down here in South Africa to assist in the elections. Yes. So, who knows?
Thanks.
No, who knows?
That's very helpful. Yeah. Okay, good. It's going to be good to see. It's going to be exciting to see what happens from all of this. But when it comes to voting, we don't have just our national and regional and provincial and house. I mean, any other pieces of paper that you managed to get over there. Yeah. There's been some other voting musically.
Yes, absolutely. We've got our Shaza.
Shaza.
Shoot. Yeah, a local singer. She's got an amazing voice. She sings opera and she sings pop and indie, those sorts of things. I'm pretending I know what I'm talking about here.
Just say genres, it'll slip in there somewhere.
Yeah, she's reaching number one on various radio stations with her song Happy.
Oh, nice.
So it is. We checked earlier, didn't we? It's on of the sorry?
It's on. We found it on YouTube Music.
And also on Spotify.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It's called Happy, and it is a great number. It's very, very happy.
Awesome. We're going to insert just a little bit of over here. Hopefully we don't get in trouble, Shaza. If you don't like us playing it, please do let us know.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Gotta stand up and just be brave. Face the world out there. You don't really need to compare yourself. Sun shines brightly on your face. A cup of Columbia starts my day. Stumbling over last night's clothes. And then you say it's a beautiful day. Everything's
you ever managed to hear this.
But yeah, I do encourage locals to download it or do whatever you do. I don't know if you upload, sideload.
Yeah. Don't
Twitter,
download
tweet.
it illegally. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Do all those things. But it's a lovely number. She's a very, very talented person, and we wish her well. So yeah, she was on our front page this week, actually.
Yeah, how cool is that?
It was very cool to have good news on the front page.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it does happen every now and again, doesn't
Absolutely.
it?
Yep.
But we've got quite a musical part of the country, I would say. Quite creative, and I've been loving the live music at the market. Have you been listening to some of those guys? I haven't caught any of their names or anything, but yeah, we've got some really cool ones. And there's that lady who does. It's very theatrical. Can you remember her name? Stretch, yeah, good old Stretch. Hey, she was even teaching some drama and music lessons I heard from someone else's school.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so spreading some of that.
Yeah, she's very talented. Yeah,
all very exciting. Okay, in our next section, we're going to have a look at some of the updates to some of the previous stories, some of the ones that are even as current as the current issue of The Edge.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a few of those. Starting off with our municipal manager.
Okay, so yeah, the municipal manager, everyone will remember, was told that his selection for the post of municipal manager was declared null and void by the court. Basically, he wasn't as qualified as the two other candidates finalized. In fact, much less qualified.
Yeah.
They were scoring advanced while he was scoring basic. So the court declared it null and void. But the next thing we knew, he had appealed. And so the legal department of the municipality said, well, if he's appealed, he's allowed to hold his position whilst the appeal takes place. Anyway, just after I'd sent my newspaper to be printed on Tuesday evening, the announcement came from the DA, because they're waiting for this.
Yeah.
The announcement came that the court had overruled his appeal.
Whoa, okay.
Or chucked it out. Basically, they said, well, thanks.
Yeah,
we don't find
you got no grounds.
We don't find it very appealing.
Ah!
There we go. So, the instruction was, and this is, I must say, this is according to a DA press release.
Okay.
So I haven't had the official word, but the DA press release, the man who apparently knows what he's saying from the DA, said he has to vacate the seat of municipal manager.
Okay.
Mr. Ombali Sibola has to vacate the seat immediately.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know who the stand-in municipal manager is.
There was a short gap between him being declared null and void. Well, not him.
Yes.
But his position, having the position being declared null and void. That it did seem to be an acting municipal manager.
Yes. Yeah.
Which
and then he took back over. So they just have to find the most senior and most suitable person.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
At least for now.
Yeah. And I've seen the salary, so I'm going to see if I can get the job.
You got my vote.
Thank you.
You
Thank
can't
you very
vote,
much.
but you got mine. Would you be able to run for that?
No, I wouldn't. You need
would
lots
you want
and
to
lots
run for
of
that?
qualifications. Well, yes.
You need lots of qualifications and be very good at shaking the right people's hands.
That's it. That's it. Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, so that's the municipal manager.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear that things are progressing, that things are working out, and that the plethora of voices that were around are actually being a bit effective and are being effective. Now it's going to be very interesting to see how effective all of these voices are after campaigning and election time. Will a bunch of these things simmer down and cool down? I don't think so, because a lot of it is coming from the people.
Yes, yeah, I
people.
think so.
And speaking of the people and being united in voices, can you give us a bit of an update on the Dune?
Okay, yeah. So there's a whole lot being going on behind the scenes. Well, not so much behind the scenes, actually. A lot of people are standing up and shouting about the Dune, the illegal building on top of the Dune, and mostly why the municipality hasn't been using their law enforcement department to stop the illegal building when there is a court order saying that they must do so.
Exactly.
So we have talked about this before, but it's getting more and more heated. And what's happened is The residents are now putting through official complaints every time something happens, every time a new place is being built.
Yep.
So what they get, each time they register a complaint, they get a collab number from the municipality. So now there's I think well over 200 complaints being lodged in the last week.
Yeah, that's significant.
So it's big. Sure. It is significant. The Ratepayers Association of Sedgefield they've been fighting this fight for a long time. So they've met with members of the law enforcement, the head of law enforcement, the head of disaster management, also municipality, and SAPS, South African Police Service.
Yeah.
Now the guys from SAPS categorically stated, is it uncategorically or categorically? Anyway, there was a category involved.
There was a category involved, yeah.
Yes, that they are not responsible for taking down the houses.
Oh.
They are responsible if a law enforcement officer or officers go to remove a house because of a court order or remove a structure, and the residents don't obey them or give them a hard time or maybe put up a fight or something, then they can call SAPS in. And SAPS will say, they're trying to enforce a court order. You are misbehaving.
Oh, wow.
And we will arrest you if you don't stop misbehaving.
Exactly,
So that's their part of it.
Okay.
They are finding it, clearly they're finding it very frustrating. And in the meeting they had with the Ratepayers Association, and the law enforcement department, they actually advised the Ratepayers Association to open a case to take the municipality to court for not fulfilling their obligations with regards to the court order.
That's right, yes.
So that's happening on that side.
Yes.
Which is, it's a bit uncomfortable, very uncomfortable.
Oh, of course it is, yes.
And we can understand frustrations on all sides. On the other side, we mentioned last time we spoke, there's a group of people from the University of Nelson Mandela campus, Nelson Mandela University George campus.
Oh, there's got to be a contraction for that.
They have formed a sort of a thing called People of the Dune.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great band name, yeah.
People of the South, People of the Dune. And they're kind of getting dialogue going between people who live on one side of the dune and people who live on the other side of the dune and the people who are on the top.
On the top, yeah.
And it's good because it's getting people talking about it. And they had their first Imbizo, on Friday. And they got people to ask questions. People sat around the tables and they talked about it. One of they had a great guy who was talking about a very, very well-knowledged man who talked about the dunes in general, and specifically the ones in this area. And he said, if there's a drop of 1 in 4, that's the steepest you can build on. So that means a 1 meter drop.
The incline. Okay, 1 meter drop, yes.
1 meter drop over 4 meters.
1 meter drop over 4 meters. Okay, with you.
Then that's the last level that you can build.
Oh, okay. Anything more aggressive than that is dangerous.
Than that. Now, the top of the dune where these houses are going up and where people are worried about collapse is a 1 meter drop in 2.5 meters.
Whoa.
So it's much steeper.
Whoa, okay.
It's much, much less stable.
Yes.
Now we must remember they're also to build. They are removing vegetation, which does a lot to hold the sand together. So it was very good to learn
that is
the situation.
It is empirically dangerous.
That's it.
Wow.
Absolutely dangerous.
Okay.
But it was great to get people talking about it. I don't think that anyone was in the meeting that was actually part of the people actually building on top of the dune.
Yes.
But it was interesting to hear how people on the Smutsville side and on the Groenfontein side were both having huge concerns about the danger.
And that's what was really interesting to me. And and maybe it was surprising for me for a lot of wrong reasons to hear that it's not just the Groenvallei side, it's the Smutsville side. I mean, we're in the same community.
Absolutely.
So that's really just helped to bridge some of my thinking, and why initially I was quite skeptical of this meeting, of, even the WhatsApp groups and how effective they're really going to be in actual change. But hearing that it's not just one side, that we're together in this, and we want to see these people helped, but we want to see this done safely.
Yeah. See, one of the things that happened because of all the complaints, there was an illegal tavern up there, not a tavel.
They got rid of all the tavels, yeah.
Now, there was an illegal tavern up there,
yes,
that got shut down.
Oh, good. Okay.
And thousands and thousands of rands worth of alcohol confiscated.
Distributed freely.
Three bucky loads of alcohol were confiscated, and their sound system. So now what's been happening is people, once again, on both sides of the Dune, have been getting no sleep.
Yes.
Especially over the weekends because of the loud music. Now, remember, that music is coming down on the Groenvallei side and coming down on the Smutsville side.
Yep.
And nobody's getting any sleep.
That's it.
So that was silenced. And I saw a lot of people remarking the best night's sleep they've had in
fantastic.
Months.
Because you speak to people who are on both sides, or who are staying close to some of the taverns, and especially this one. And I would just think of the children who go to the schools in Smutsville and the Sedgefield side.
They're not getting any sleep.
Oh. Yeah. And then they're extra naughty.
Yes,
that's what no sleep does.
Or sleeping.
Or sleeping. Most likely the second, isn't it? So that's a little bit of positivity. And we've got another really nice positive one, because what you've said before, and what we said, is that one of the things that will really solve this is not only identifying the land for where new homes could be built for people, safe ones, and going through the right channels, because a lot of these channels do exist.
Yes,
and,
they do.
It's possible. It is actually
And there's funding available from national government.
That's it. And not just empty promises that are framed. And that really just makes mention of Mrs. Armut, Anna
Armut.
Yeah, who was promised. And I mean, she was on the front page a good few weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Just look, it was a bit of a desperate story and a bit of a despair-causing one, and quite a sad one. But you've got an update on that.
Yeah, so Anna Armut was promised a house on Mandela Day in 2019, and they said on that day, we're going to build you a house. And they broke ground, and all the municipal officials wore hard hats and shook each other's hands.
Lots of photos.
And what have you. And then they did nothing. We've spoken about this before. Every year, the door gets knocked on and said, when is Mrs. Armut going to get a house? She was on the extreme poverty line.
Yeah.
She, more recently, we had it in the paper again because they still had done nothing. She was in a house that got flooded when the rains came. She was living in there with 6 other people in a small house. Really, really bad.
I can't even imagine. Sure.
The young man who was assisting her, trying to assist her in getting the municipality to fulfill this promise.
Yes, yeah.
A man called Freegan Gallant, or Gallant.
Gallant, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's Gallant, if there's phlegm involved.
Yes.
He stopped me the other day, and he said, Mrs. Armut has been given a kit house.
A kit house?
A kit house. So that's kind of the walls and the windows and the roof and what have you, but it's in kit form.
Okay.
So it hasn't been built yet, but she is getting it.
Oh, if there's a kit, people will build that.
Yes.
I don't think we would struggle with finding people.
There will be people who will help build it for her. They've just got to identify a place. I think there is one next to her son or near her son.
Okay, not on the top of the dune.
In an area called Langgewacht. Not on top of the dune.
No. What's the area? Langgewacht.
Langgewacht. Long awaited.
Long awaited.
That's the area behind the Smutsville school.
Okay.
That after riots were had, I think 2016, 2018. Yeah. Right about that. One of those riots. The land behind the school, people were allowed to build there.
Okay. But quite informally, just go build there.
It was basically, okay,
get out of my hair and in there.
Yeah. Stop annoying the politicians. They want to go and have lunch.
Exactly. And another photo op. Oh, we've taken it to be negative again. That is such good news.
It is great
There
news.
is progress, and we are just so thankful for that.
Absolutely.
And hope that there are going to be more and more stories of these, which you know that you're going to read about in The Edge.
Absolutely.
On The Edge? In The Edge? How do you say it?
On the Edge.
On the
Edge, yes.
In the Edge.
On the Edge website, in the Edge newspaper.
That's it. There we go. And you can pick up both of them. And it's quite a nice little thing before we say goodbye. How we can get the Edge a day early. That it's uploaded a day early. Is that right?
Well,
or a few hours early.
It's uploaded first thing on a Wednesday morning. So normally by 8:30, 8:45, it's online.
Yes.
And you can click on www.edgenews.co.za and it's there. And you can have a sneak preview read. Lots of people prefer the sort of tactile feel of newsprint.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, always, yes.
And it's easier to do the crossword if you actually had the paper.
Yeah, you don't have to buy so many screens. Yeah.
But it's also a good way to share it with family overseas. Send them the link, get them to click on latest edition.
Oh, there we go.
And it's readily available.
Yeah, and then you can have a foot up when somebody brings up an issue, not just an issue that would be in that issue.
Yes.
Then you'd be able to speak about it with even more knowledge than they.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's why I read the newspaper. Isn't it why we just want to be smarter than everyone else?
That's what we want to do, yes.
Awesome, Bama. Thanks so much. Really excited about all the updates. Very keen to see what happens with the elections and Shaza.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Bama. Have a great week.
You too, mate. You too. Cheers.
Cheers.